Welcome to 3D Leisure Home, me Gail. I'm just going to do half an hour fitness Pilates, working on your core strength, a little bit of a stretch, and I'll give you options to make it easier or harder. So all you need is a little mat, maybe a drink. So we're going to start just with a little warm up, so breathing in through your nose and out through the mouth. So focus on the feet being hip width apart, four corners of your feet sinking into the mat. Nice and slowly we want to lift the arms on your in breath, drawing the tummy in extra tight, lifting up, crown of the head lifting up, and then on the out breath drawing the belly button in nice and tight. So we want to breathe in through your nose and we want to breathe out through the mouth. Nice and slowly lifting, flat back, and then nice and slowly coming down, dropping the head over to the neck stretch, and then out breath back. So in breath we lengthen, and out breath, and in breath, and out, and in breath, and out. So just gonna stand to the back of your mat, and we're just going to do a roll down. So drawing the belly button in extra tight. Take a big deep breath in. On your out breath, just slowly let yourself drop down to the mat. Couple of breaths here, pushing down, allowing the head to hang, and then the next out breath, we're going to draw the belly button up and roll back up nice and slow. When we reach the top and the head comes back up, we're going to roll the shoulders back. So you want your in breath to be on forward and out breath back. In breath and out. And then we're going to reverse that, so out breath and in. And then I'm just going to 1 second turn off this. So again, we're going to roll down this time, coming down, and then when you reach the floor, just walk your hands forward into plank position. So we want this belly button to draw up nice and tight. We want to be focusing, spreading the fingers so the weight is evenly distributed through the wrist. Breathing in nice and slow, pushing up now through the shoulder blades, making sure your shoulders are above the wrists. On in breath, you're just going to reach up, and you can do this with one knee on the floor if this is too difficult. You're going to hold for a couple of breaths here, shoulders directly above one another and hips the same, so you're not tilting back with a hip. And then we're going to come back nice and slow, bring it back, centre, and then we're going to lift on the other side. You can follow your gaze up to the fingertips. Bring your hip up, and then nice and slowly bring that back down. And hold, bring the knees down, sit back into child pose, head rested on the mat. And we reach the fingers forward, lifting the palms off the floor now and drawing elbows into centre. And from there we're going to come up onto fours. So you're just going to lift opposite arm and leg into stretch out. Fingertips in the toes, nice and long, and tummy drawing up, extra tight. Out breath, we're going to come under, elbow, knee, curling small. In breath, lengthen. Out breath, and in, and out breath, and in, holding. Bring the hand down, going to reach back, so opposite hand to your foot, reaching round, and then we're going to push this hand into the the hand to lift the knee, keeping the body facing forward. If you can't reach your foot, you might need to put a little sort of belt or anything to hook on, to draw, or you can just bend the heel in as much as is comfortable. Changing side, opposite arm and leg, stretching out, breathing. On your next out breath, just draw elbow and knee under, tuck your head under so you get the little curl spine. In breath, lengthen, out breath, and in, and out breath, and in. Taking the hand back down, bending the leg, reaching round, and lift. Chest is lifting, foot is pushing into the hand. Breathe in nice and deep, nice and slow, and then letting that knee come back and bringing ourselves up to our knees hip width apart. So here we're going to just lean back, tuck your bottom under and keep that bottom tucked under. Arms forward, keep a space of an apple under your chin to chest. Out breath, we're going to lean back, push the hips out to the front, and in breath come back up. So make sure here you're pushing through your hips, you're not doing a back bend, you're keeping the flat back as you lean back. So really squeeze, should feel this up the front of the thighs. Leaning back. And then we're going to stay back for a couple of breaths. Focus on pushing through the hips forward. And if you lean back, it'll make this a lot harder. And coming up. And now we're going to just take it into a plank. So we want hands back down. If you do have sore wrists, then you might need to come down onto your elbows. So you're just going to stand back into your plank, drawing that belly button up extra tight. And an in breath, we're just going to lift one leg. So we go on the right leg, in breath, and back down and out. Changing legs, in breath, and out. In breath, and out. In and out. Next time we lift, we're going to just push down the chest. Hold, breathe here. Couple of breaths. On your next out breath, you want to bring your knee under. Glide forward. Out breath, push up. So in breath, so the knee can be on the floor to make this easier if this is too difficult. And pushing, holding, and bring the knees down. Take it into your cat cow stretch. Out breath, roll up. Hips can slightly forward, tuck your head under. In breath, belly button starts to roll down towards the mat, bottom lifts, and the head comes back. Out breath, really start to roll. Lean slightly forward from your hips. In breath, you can bend the elbows slightly here if you wish to increase this. And out breath. And in. Coming back to center. Standing back into your plank. Tummy tight. Pushing up through the shoulder blades. Next in breath, we're going to lift the left leg. Push back. And then an out breath, we're going to come under. In breath, push. Out breath. And in. Out breath. And down, sit back into relaxed child's pose, head rested on the mat. If your head can't come onto the mat, you might want to just rest the head on the hands. Breathing nice and slow. Let the chest expand on the legs. And on your out breath, sink down, feel the weight. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And coming back up, and we're going to take it back into the plank, but we're going to go from elbow plank this time. Make sure your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. And we're just going to bring the feet back, standing back into your plank here. If the floor is hard and you want extra padding, then you can just double up your mat. Just going to move this mat forward a tiny bit. So elbows down, standing back into your plank and holding this position. Head is just in line with your spine, and then from here we're just going to lift the arms. So when you lift one arm, if it's too much, just stay in your plank or your knee plank. When you lift one arm to the front and then back down. If you're doing this from toes, it'll be a lot harder. Lift and lower, lift and lower. So we're trying to not twist from upper body, trying to keep your shoulders level as you lift rather than you twist. So you're just lifting, back down, lift, focusing on effort, drawing the belly button up, extra tight, and then rest. Sit back and have a couple of breaths here. So from there we're going to come up again onto the elbows, and we're going to just push up onto one hand, then the other. So on the out breath we pull up into full arm plank. In breath we come down onto elbows. Again, knees can be on the floor if you want to make this easier, but make sure if you're on your knees you do glide forward from your hip so that the bottom isn't sticking up. So we're down in our elbow plank, standing back, tummy up, couple of breaths, and then on your next out breath we're going to push up, and your in breath you're going to come down. Try not to rock too much from your hips. So we breathe in. Now you might want to push up on one side, so maybe left pushing up, and then on the next time when you come down, push up with the right, push. And from there, rest the hips onto the mat. Toes long, hips apart. Draw as if you're pulling back the forearms towards your waist. Let the glutes relax. Work the shoulders to squeeze back to center and away from the ears. So you don't have your shoulders lifting. Couple of breaths. And then we're going to use the hip to push out from your plank. So if you think of your hips being on a little plank and you're pushing across and back on a straight line. So you don't have to come too wide on the push out. So you come up into your plank, elbow plank, and then out breath, push out, in breath back to center, out breath and in. And knees can be down if this is too much, and just push out from the hip. So trying to think that we're just pushing across straight line. In breath back, out breath, out. In breath center. And again. And bring your hips down. Toes hip apart and along. Draw back. Little stretch. Working the lower back, stretching the core. And now we are going to drop the hips side to side. So if you think of like a little rainbow action with the hips. Push up onto the toes. And then we twist down, over and twist. In breath and out. In breath and out. In breath and out. So try to do this rainbow. Coming over and down. And rest. And just relax and pull back. Breathing in through nose, out through the mouth. Happy Friday. Happy thoughts, happy body. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And from here, we're just gonna put a little sequence together. So we're gonna come up and we're gonna lift opposite legs one at a time for 4. Then we're going to lift the arms up to the front for 4. Then we're going to push across with the hip. And then we're going to go and do our little rainbow. Oh, and don't push up and down. Forgot. So from here, we're just going to come up onto the elbows. Tummy up tight. Focusing on the tight belly button. And then in breath, lift one leg, out breath down. In breath and out. In and out. And then just stay focused, center, lifting one arm. Out breath and in. Out breath and in. Out breath and in. And then next we're going to come pushing up. So we breathe out, out and in. Out breath, push up. Can be from your knees. Push in. Last one. On this push up. Staying down. Out breath. Push out to the side. In breath, center. Out breath. And in. And then rainbow, so swirl over, side to side. And rest. Rest the head onto the hands, whichever side feels comfortable. And then just rock from hip to hip, and just keep going with this little hip roll. Bend your legs, take the knees a bit wider, and let the legs mimic little windscreen wipers, dropping from side to side. And from there, just rest. Couple of breaths, breathe in nice and deep. Just going to get my music back on, so concentrate on prolonging your breath. In breath through the nose and out breath through the mouth. And then you want to just push yourself back up onto 4s. And then we're going to just come back down onto our side. So we're going to do an elbow plank. Again, you might need to have extra padding underneath the elbow. We're looking to have the hip nice and high. If you were to have your knee on the floor, then you can do this. floor. This will give you a little bit of an easier version of this. So in breath down, out breath, push up the hip, breathing in, breathing out, so good. In breath and out, holding up, hold up, get a stretch, take the arm across the head, hand back, onto the waist, lift one leg. So breathe out and in. If the hip is dropping down, then just take this from the knee on the floor. Just keep good technique. Breathe out and in, and rest. So we're going to come up to 90-90 legs. Bring your hands over to the side. The further back you go, the more of a stretch you have. You're going to push forward from your hip. Lift the chest. Breathe nice and deep in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then we're going to bring that down. You can stay up if you prefer, onto the elbows. Breathing. Making that a little bit more would be to bring your head down, hand on hand, and just resting that head. And taking your arms further back would give you a bigger stretch. Breathing. Positive energy in through the nose. Breathing out stress. In breath. And out breath. Bringing the body back up, pushing up. Bring the legs round and just take it into your side plank on the other side. So we want to, again, if you have a hard floor, double up or triple up your mat. And again, can be knee on the floor. Just make sure that your body is in a good alignment. So your knee, your hip and your ankle is in line with the shoulder. Shoulder is directly above this elbow. And take any one of the options, either foot in front, foot in top, and then in breath down, out breath up. So breathing in and breathing out. Just so good. Push nice and high. So you really want to feel the push is effort up. In breath and out. And then you're going to stay up. Take the arm across to this lovely stretch. And then hand back on the waist, and then out breath and in. Out breath, option is out breath and in. So you can keep going with whichever, or harder if you're up on the toe, on your foot. Keep this going. And bring the body back up. 90-90 legs. Hands back to the side. Lift the chest. Breathe. Making it a little bit harder. And really resting. In through the nose. Breath. And heavy out breath. Body relaxing on every out breath, getting heavier. And from there, we're going to just bring ourselves up, turn on to the side, onto our set bones, and we're going to roll down. So take a deep breath in. And we're going to roll the hips up. Come down nice and slow. Now the legs can be out straight if you prefer. Upper back nice and slow. Stretch above the head. I'm taking my legs long now. In breath we come up. Flatten. So really lift. Out breath. Roll. Into stay down, nice and slow. On the roll down, push the small of the back into the mat. Stretch fingers and toes. And we're going to just bring the legs in. The hands are rested at the side. One leg is directly up above the hip. So here we're going to take one leg down and the other knee in. Out breath and tap on the floor on your in. Breathing out. And to make this harder, you can lift the chest. Keep this contraction on the stomach so you push up. So breathe out. Breathe in. Try and get a nice long leg. And then hug in. Give a little hug. We're going to swap sides. So keep the focus on this really, really tight belly button. So one leg is up. And then we just take the knee to chest. Drop the other leg. So breathe out. And in. Breathe out, lifting the head. Hands to temples. Keeping it tight. Tummy. The more you push up with the chest, the more you feel this in your core. Out and in. Give a little hug. Make sure the head is flat so you can lift it and put it back down. A couple of little hugs here. Squeeze, and then we're going to just take this to legs up. So easier will be if you take a bent leg and a tap. Harder is if you take a straight leg. Harder again will be to lift the chest and keep the tummy tight. So we're breathing in, down, breathing out, up. Breathe in, breathe out. So you can take this to two legs if you prefer. So if the two legs are coming down and back up above your hips, breathing in and breathing out. Adding on here, the hands can just be at the side of the mat with the head rested, or you can just begin to crunch. Breathe in, breathe out. In and out. Hug. Give that a nice little tight hug. And then we're going to do our stretch again. Hands above the head, toes long, small the back into the mat. And from there, we're just going to grab under the knees just to bring yourself up. And we're going to just lift one leg, then the other leg to tabletop. Arms lifting to make this a little bit harder. If you can't manage, just stay with the hands grounded. And then we're going to lift the legs up and hold. Tummy tight, stretching, lifting, chest high, chin up. If it's too much, take it back. Tabletop legs. You can work between the two. Keep breathing. Hold. And just bring the knees back. Roll and hug. So just going to do a little tap. Rolling up, tapping. And rolling back. So we get in this little roll onto the spine. If you want to tap above the head, you can tap back. Roll, tap the floor. So you can tap back. Or you can just roll. Gives the neck a stretch as well. That's the spine. Getting a little massage. And bringing up, staying up. Going to cross the legs to the front. And then on our out breath, in breath, we want hand on, hands behind. In breath, we lift, chest up, back flat. Out breath, guide yourself round, look over your shoulder. Push the shoulder back, get the twist up the spine. Keep breathing naturally. If it hurts the neck, to look over your shoulder and back. Just keep your head side on. You can still have the twist of the shoulder. Breathe in. Bringing it back to the front. Other hand on, in breath. Left hand behind, either fingers or palm. Out breath. Guide yourself round, twist. Keep on your twist. Every out breath, try and twist a little bit further. And from there, we're going to come forward and we're going to take you to a waist stretch. So hand down, in breath, we reach up, and as you breathe out, you want to keep the shoulder back. And if you feel you can come down lower, only come down on the elbow. If you can stay down with both sit bones on the mat. If you're lifting up here, come back onto the hand. Push down the opposite side into the floor. Reach across, feel it right down out to thigh, the waist, keeping up the elbow. Nice and slowly, bring it back, breathe in, reach up, breathe out, take it over, shoulder back. If you're coming down, do not lift, this hip stays down. Just lift and breathe and relax into it so you feel pushing down the opposite hip, stretching across with the arm. Nice and slowly, bring it up. Out breath, push the arms forward, drop your head down, draw the belly button in, chest is lifted, so we're flat back. The head drops to give the neck a stretch. From here we're going to interlock the fingers, put them on the back of the head, allow the elbows to close in, and just draw your head down. If it's too much, take the hands back onto the knees, just use the head to drop. Nice and slow, nice and deep. Bringing the hands back behind and push away on your out breath, opening up the chest and the front of the shoulders, and then you lift as high as you can on every out breath. So you kind of tease the arms up behind your back. If you can't manage, just set the hands on your lower back and squeeze the elbows towards each other. Keep the flat back, chest up. And from there we're going to stretch the neck. It's going to take the head over, push the palm or fingers into the mat. And if you want to tease your head over, out breath, draw, fingers just above the ear. Changing sides, dropping the head over, out breath, we push down on every out breath. And then if you want to increase it, fingertips above the ear. Out breath, just drawing the head towards your shoulder, breathing nice and slow. Coming back to center, breathe in, take the arms up, float the arms up nice and tall, and breathe out, take the hands down. So in breath, we lift, tall, and out breath. Last in breath, bring the hands back on your out breath. And just thank you so much if you joined me today. Any comments, please put them up, and I will be back next week for Back in Extreme on Thursday. So thanks, have a fabulous weekend, enjoy, hope you enjoyed that and worked your hardest, and take care, bye.